Hi there. Welcome to 20 for 20. My name is Kathleen Draper with the Elks National Foundation. I'm joined today by Jerry Curran, a 2020 Top 20 Most Valuable Student Scholar, sponsored by Wareham, New Bedford, Massachusetts, Lodge number 73. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jerry. So first off, just introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
All right, well, thank you. So my name is Jerry Curran. I'm from Pocasset, Massachusetts, and I'll be attending Harvard University, most likely studying government or computer science.
Awesome. And how did you choose that field of study?
I've been really interested in volunteerism, as the Elks Foundation is, and so I feel like that, in terms of government, that would be a great area of study to pursue that. And with computer science, I've done some programs before, and I think it'd be really great to combine those in order to do something involving advocacy, for example, online, especially during these times. That's especially critical. So I think it'd be a good combination of the two.
That's amazing. And you touched on that a little bit, but what does service mean to you?
For me, in terms of being part of the Elks Foundation, service means surrounding myself with people who are equally passionate about helping others. This is especially true when it comes to veterans. And so that's one thing that has really appealed to me about the Elks Foundation. I'm definitely excited to take part in service trips and get to know the other Elks. And I noticed that there was a recent event in San Diego involving veterans. So events like that are of great interest to me. And I also come from a family of veterans. So that's why I'm really motivated for that cause. And so I really want to give my time back and make sure that I'm helping the people who have invested in me, my community, and our country.
Yeah, what you touched on with San Diego, that was one of our Elk Scholar service trips. So those are a great way for our scholars to get involved and meet other scholars too, and be able to give back in the name of the Elks. And then obviously you're very service oriented, but what would you say your proudest achievement is?
I would say one of my proudest achievements is the work I've done with a group that I started with my sisters called Project Next Generation. And so this has been a series of tuition-free workshops that we hold in my hometown of our home area of Cape Cod. And they're basically surrounding civic engagement. So I felt like this has been a really successful endeavor in that we've covered topics like college readiness. I just finished the application process, so I was able to document the college tours that I went on and put together a video series so that students from my hometown who maybe can't go to a certain campus for whatever reason will still have that resource. And so we've definitely seen positive effects in that. And again, going back to veterans, we've done certain workshops where we make thank you cards for them. So it's been really great to teach students about these different issues going on.
That's really amazing. And you mentioned that you partnered with your sisters for that. And your sister was the top 20 MVS scholar in 2016. So did she have any advice for you as you kind of went through this process?
I think one thing she really taught me to understand about the Elks Foundation was the idea of sort of leaning into the community that it provides. I got a taste of that with the Scholars Weekend, meeting the other scholars virtually. And so one thing that she really taught me is that she's been in contact with a lot of the scholars from that year to this day, and that they've been a great resource for her. So I think that's something that I'll definitely try to emulate and try to utilize this network that I've been provided with.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what is being an Elk Scholar going to help you do and help you achieve?
I would say being an Elk Scholar will help me bring the issues that I'm passionate about from a local level to potentially even a state or national level. So with the work that I've done with Project Next Generation, it's been great in terms of helping people from my home of Cape Cod. But I know that with the Elks Foundation, I could go to a lodge anywhere in the country and identify myself as an Elks member and be welcomed with open arms. So I think, for example, it'd be great to share some of the ideas that I've had with PNG in a nationwide scale and see if I can sort of work with other scholars in order to promote volunteerism on a broader basis.
Yeah, and you mentioned before the Top 20 Virtual Leadership Weekend. That was actually my first leadership weekend here with the Elks National Foundation, and I can tell you it was the highlight of my year. I had so much fun. It was so great to meet all of you and all of the Top 20 and see all the amazing things you're doing. But what was your favorite part of the Top 20 Virtual Leadership Weekend?
One of the things that I really liked was the breakout discussions that we had. I got to speak with a student named Anthony, I believe, who was a finalist last year. And so he was really influential in talking to me about different student organizations and how he's made that adjustment to college. I think that I've been really focused on the whole application process that sometimes I may lose sight of like what comes after that. And so that was a really great experience for me in terms of getting to talk with him and hear more about what that transition is like.
Yeah, and Anthony was one of our scholar leaders that weekend. For those who might not know about that aspect of our leadership weekend, so we had former top 20 finalists come in and speak with our current MVS top 20, like Jerry, and then but that is a huge weekend, and obviously that's a big part of finding out that you are an MVS scholar. So what were you doing when you found out that you were a top 20 MVS scholar?
I was just in my room actually. I had received a couple of emails throughout the process about being a semifinalist and so on. And so as soon as I got the news, I was so excited to receive the scholarship and to be invited to the Scholars Weekend. I ran to my mom quickly. She's in the room across from me in my house. So it was great news to share with them. And I was really excited.
Yeah, that's a huge moment. I don't even know how I would react. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and what makes you an Elk scholar?
I would say that what makes me an Elk scholar is my idea of giving back to people. I've seen a lot of great examples of that taking place with the Elks Foundation and things that I didn't really even know about before becoming part of the Elks Foundation, like the hoop shoot, for example. I think that what separates members of the Elks Foundation from other people is their sense of creativity in combination with their philanthropy, and that they found this way, for example, with basketball, that you may not realize it's a great opportunity for volunteerism. So I think that's one way that I fit in, that I'd really like to sort of find these creative ways, whether it's in my college setting or back at home, to find ways to subtly promote volunteerism.
Yeah, and that's a really important part of being an Elk scholar. So I appreciate you sharing that. And you've talked a lot about the service that you do and how involved you are in your community. Is there anything else that you're really passionate about outside of academics too?
Um, well, one area, it kind of goes back to what you were saying, but I would say education. So apart from me attending high school, I think my story of education has been somewhat of a unique one. I do go to a school that's far away from my house, and I've been pursuing the IB program. So I think access is really important to me. And apart from just studying in the classroom, I realized that I was given a really great opportunity to attend a great school. And so I really, although I don't know what my career path will entail right now, I do know that I want it to involve some sense of promoting access and helping people from marginalized backgrounds find the same opportunities that I've been fortunate enough to receive.
That sounds really amazing. And for our last question, if there's anything that you could say to the Elks, what would you say?
I would just like to say again, thank you so much. As we mentioned, I really enjoyed the Scholars Weekend, and I've been so happy to receive this opportunity to get to know the other finalists. I've stayed in touch with a lot of them, and I'm really looking forward to getting to meet them in person through the service trips and any other events that take place. So I would just say thank you again so much, and I'm very happy to be a part of this foundation.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in. If you liked the show, hit the like button below and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you so much for helping us build stronger communities and connecting with the Elks family. See you next time.